Hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome. It's that holiday time of year when I know things get really busy and really hectic, and it's hard to carve out the time to get to class. So, this is a short sequence that you can do at home. It's a really grounding sequence and something that you can fit in when you just have a few minutes. Okay, so first, it's really important that we get grounded. So, go ahead and have a seat in a chair or on the floor and close your eyes. Bring your tongue to where the roof of your mouth meets your teeth and just start to breathe in and out through your nose. Take a moment and listen to any sounds that you might hear in the room. We're not trying to block out the rest of the world. We're simply acknowledging what is. And then bring your awareness back to your breath. Soften the muscles around your face. Maybe move your jaw right and left. We'll inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 4 counts, 5 rounds. Exhale completely. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Nod your chin toward your chest. Roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. So as you start to warm up your body, just let it feel good. Right ear, right shoulder. And left ear, left shoulder. Notice if there are any kinks, any tightness anywhere. Come back to the center and roll your shoulders forward. Roll them backwards. Good. And then reach your shoulders all the way up. Open mouth, exhale. Let them sink down. Take your right arm up to the sky. Anchor both of your sitting bones, those are your butt bones, down into the floor and side bend. And come all the way up and switch sides. Now in the winter, it's nice to stay warm, but you don't want to sweat too much. Inhale up and exhale over. It's the time of year for hibernating. Inhale up and exhale over. So you almost want to hold your energy. You don't want to expend too much. Take your hands to the floor, squeeze your shoulder blades back and lift your chest. All right, good. Now make your way onto all fours. Quadruped position. So on all fours, stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Firmly press your hands down, pull your ribs and belly in away from the floor. Spread your fingers wide and make sure your wrists feel good. So just shift front and back a couple of times. Make sure your palms are nice and flat and kind of press down into your finger pads. Now shift right and left. And come back to the center. Step one foot back, step the other foot back so you're in a high plank position. From here, just make sure you're not reaching your booty toward the sky. Lengthen your tail down toward your heels. Take one more breath and lift your hips downward facing dog. Alternate right and left heels. Now in down dog, it's really important that we hinge right here from the hip. So I don't want you to round your low back. If you feel like that's kind of happening, go ahead and bend your knees. Shift your weight back, create a nice hinge in the hip. Lift your sitting bones, again, your butt bones up toward the sky. And you can keep your knees bent, that's totally fine. Inhale, pick both heels up and pivot them to the right side of your mat. And then again, both heels up, pivot them to the left. One more time, both heels up, pivot to the right. And both heels up, pivot to the left. Come back to the center and bring your knees to the floor. All right, so now we're back onto all fours. We'll snake down into a cobra. So lower all the way down onto your belly. Here, press your pubic bone into the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades back and lift. You don't have to come up too high. Don't want much weight in your hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and lift. And exhale, release, lower. 2 more times like that. Shoulder blades back and lift. Exhale, release, lower. 1 more time, shoulder blades back and lift. This is really important for posture and for your spinal health. And release, lower, press back, downward facing dog. And again, pedal your heels. From here, look forward, step your feet toward the front of your mat. Keep them about 6 inches apart. Grab opposite elbows and bend your knees quite a bit. Relax your head. So again, we'll get the hinge from the hip first, lengthen your spine, and then we can start to straighten our legs maybe. Bring your hands to the floor. Inhale, reach both arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Press your palms together, look up. Bring your hands through your heart to your side and step your feet together. Okay, we'll do one sun A and one sun B. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale and fold forward, Uttanasana. Bend your knees as much as you need. Bring your head all the way down. Half lift and lengthen your spine. Pull the belly up and in so your hands can be here, but hinge at your hips. Yeah, no rounding of the low back. Hop back, Chaturanga, low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog and breathe. So hands about shoulder distance apart, feet about 6 inches apart. Press your ribs toward your thighs and scoop your belly in. Take 1 more breath. Look forward, step or hop forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Sun Salutation B, bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Chair pose. Exhale and fold in half. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Keep your elbows close to your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot forward next to your thumb. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog and breathe. So again, root your hands down into the mat. Start to roll your armpits back in toward your body. Take 1 more breath. Look forward, bend your knees and float forward. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Now, every time you do the sequence, you'll get a little stronger and a little more fluid. And Samastitihi. Okay, hop your feet about 6 inches apart. Take your hands to your waist. Lift your chest and fold forward. Now, bend your knees again. Grab your big toes. Padangustasana. Half lift and lengthen. Fold forward. Reach your elbows out to opposite sides of the room. You can shake your head if that feels good. You can keep your knees bent. And then if your hamstrings are starting to warm up and lengthen, start to lift your sitting bones to the sky. Look up, lengthen. Slide your hands under your feet and fold forward. Breathe. Inhale, lift your head, remove your hands. This time you come into a toe squat position. So you'll bring your heels together and your toes apart. This really helps strengthen your feet. It's one of my favorite poses right now. I want you to round your back a little bit, bring your hands to your heart. And now here, start to press your knees into your triceps. So you turn your inner thighs on. And at the same time, you'll press your arms out into your inner thighs. One more breath. Take your hands to the floor, crow pose. Hug your elbows back toward your body, and then start to pick your butt up. Now our heels are already together. From here, you'll shift your weight forward, pick your feet up, press your big toes together. Get this action of rooting down with your hands to pull your collarbone away from the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take your right leg up to the sky. Look back at your toes and turn them so they face the floor, and with your left heel, lift and lower. And then if you like, bend your knee, open up your hip. Look under your right armpit. Feel a stretch along the right side of your body. Come back to center, lower your right heel down and pick your left foot up. This time, look back at your toes. Turn them so they face the floor, and with your bottom heel, lift and lower. Now bend your knee, open your hip, look under your left armpit. Feel a stretch along the left side of your body. Square your hips and lower down. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, come into warrior two. Relax your toes. So in warrior two, your knee is over your ankle. Line your knee up in line with your second toe and reach through your arms. Pull your armpits back in. Flip your right arm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come into side angle pose. Take your elbow to your knee. Reach your left arm up and over your ear. So if you want straight up toward the sky, if it feels okay, you can take it all the way over toward where the ceiling and the wall meet. Inhale, come up. Straighten your front leg and heel toe your back foot in just a little bit for triangle pose. So your front leg will be straight without the knee being locked. Lengthen forward. Reach, 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 and pivot. Now see if you can peel open your chest. Take one more breath. And inhale, rise up. All right, with your front foot, you'll just pivot it in, quarter of a turn, bring your hands to your waist and fold forward. So now you get a nice hamstring stretch. Bend and straighten your knees, Prasarita Padottanasana. Straighten your legs, walk your hands between your feet. Reach the crown of your head onto the floor. And again, listen to your hamstrings so you can always keep your knees bent as much as you need to. Bend your elbows about 90 degrees and squeeze your shoulder blades in toward your spine. Lift your head, bring your hands to your waist and rise all the way up. Good, then in one big step, step to the front of your mat, Samastitihi. Give your legs and arms a little shake. Good, second side, inhale, reach up. Exhale and fold forward. Half lift and lengthen your spine. Hop back. Low plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog, left foot forward. Inhale to warrior two. And then relax your toes. Yeah? Lengthen your tail down toward the floor. And reach through your arms. Reverse your warrior. Side angle pose. And then if you like, start to reach your arm over your ear, but roll your shoulder toward the sky. Come all the way up and straighten your front leg, heel toe your back foot in just a little bit, Utthita Trikonasana. So you'll kind of bump your back hip out to the side, lengthen forward, reach, and take your hand to your shin, reach your arm toward the sky, open your chest. Inhale, come all the way up. You'll pivot your left foot in a quarter of a turn this time, Prasarita C. Here, press your palms together. Open your chest and fold. Reach your arms all the way over your head toward the floor. Inhale as you come all the way up. Release your arms and step to the front of your mat, Samastitihi. Okay? Inhale, arms up. Exhale and fold. Half lift, lengthen your spine. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll forward to a high plank position and slowly lower all the way onto your bellies. Bring your legs all the way together and take your hands underneath your forehead with your elbows wide. So from here, draw your shoulder blades down your back. Keep your feet on the floor and lift your upper body to a slight hover. Reach the elbows out. And release lower back down. Take your hands by your side this time. Turn your palms so they face you. Squeeze your shoulder blades back in together and lift your chest again to a little bit of a hover, but look toward the floor. So you'll press your pubic bone down. Take one more breath. And release lower down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Separate your feet now just a little bit. Squeeze the shoulder blades back in together and lift into upward facing dog. Roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Look forward and jump all the way through and have a seat. So now we've got our legs straight out in front of us. In our forward folds, we want to make sure we're hinging from the hip and not rounding our low back. So grab a cheek, pull it out. Grab the other cheek and pull it out. And then pull your toes up toward the sky. Sit up nice and tall. From here, you'll start to hinge forward. And if you feel like you're rounding, then just come up a little bit higher. So you can walk your hands forward, grab your toes. And lift your head, release your toes, come into Baddha Konasana or butterfly stretch. Take your feet together and then open them up. Now again, still we hinge from the hips, so hinge forward. And you don't have to go very far. I want you to feel your sitting bones down into your mat. And breathe. Come all the way up. This time we'll take our legs nice and wide. Upavishta Konasana. Again, sits bones, root them down into the floor. Turn your legs out just a little bit, and you can crawl your hands forward, or you can use your peace fingers to grab your big toes. Grab between your big toe and second toe. Bend your elbows and reach your chest toward the floor. Lift your head and come all the way up. Bring your legs together and make your way down onto your backs. So once you lie down, you'll bend both knees, root your feet down onto the floor for bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Okay, so reach down for your heels, feet maybe 6 inches apart or so. Make sure they're parallel. Root down through your feet and pick your hips up. And then for most of us, once we pick our hips up, we're still kind of sinking down a little low in the pelvis. So press your upper arm bones down into the mat, press your feet down into the mat and lift up a little bit higher. And then you can interlace your hands behind your back and walk your shoulder blades closer together. Now there should be no strain or pain in your back. So if you feel any pain in your back, come back down, reset, root your feet down and lift up. And check your feet too. So sometimes if there's pain in the low back, we might turn our feet out. Make sure that they're parallel, create a little bit of space in these muscles. Yeah. And release, lower all the way down. Okay, from here you'll walk your feet out about mat distance apart. Take your arms out to the side. Drop both knees to the right. This should feel really nice on your outer hip and low back. And switch sides. And switch again. And switch again. Good. Come right back to the center. Take your legs nice and long. Take your hands down by your sides. Close your eyes for Shavasana. So this is just a really quick practice, but we still want to end with Shavasana. Soften all the muscles in your face, around your jaw, your throat. Take a big inhale through your nose. Open mouth exhale. Move your shoulders, your arms, however you need. Move your hips a little bit, soften your knees. And bring your awareness back to your breath. Again, inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 4 counts. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and ankles. And take a big stretch. Roll over onto one side. And press yourself up to a seated position. All right, roll your shoulders forward. And roll your shoulders back. Thanks for joining me. Have a great holiday. Namaste.